didn't want to have to make this video, but I guess I am, because as everything that happened in 2016, it went wrong. Literally, it feels like everything that happened this year has gone to shit and gone to the worst possible scenario. I don't know what it is about 2016. We have hope that next year is better, but yes, the situation isn't good. So Donald Trump is the President of the United States. That is just how it is. We're living in the aftermath of that. There has been a huge backlash. As with Brexit, when that happened, racist and xenophobic attacks went up. There was a surge in that sort of thing, and it wasn't good. This has happened tenfold already in America. Donald is giving a voice to these people, and they are promoting... They're on the internet and also making signs and things that are in the real world, and they are promoting these Nazi worshipping bullshit ideas. They're promoting bringing back tarring and feathering. You probably thought this was going to be a nice video. It's not. They're bringing back the tarring and feathering, or promoting that they want to. They can't bring that back legally, but they're talking about it. They want to do that. They're talking about the gas chambers. They're talking about throwing people into ovens, and it's horrible, and it's very upsetting for people that he is giving a voice to these people. What you do need to realise is these people are not in power. Yes, someone is in power who is giving them that voice, and that's horrible, but the stuff they're talking about is not going to happen. We should be very angry about the fact that they want it to happen, and we should be spreading this, and we should be raising awareness of it, but we should also keep in mind for our own sanity that it's not going to happen. It's very unlikely, and they can't legalise that kind of thing. I've also been seeing a lot about Pence and his views on conversion therapy, and I've read up about the account Closeted Gay Guy released what he went through with conversion therapy, and it's not nice. I'm not going to go into details here, but it's horrible to bully and torture someone for being gay, and that they want to bring that in, and that's actually only illegal in like 5 states, but he's pushing that anyway, apparently, and it's not good. And we need to raise awareness of these things, but we also need to stay sane and look after ourselves. So I'm just going to give some ideas on how to do that. So best of luck, everyone. Okay, firstly, what I've seen online so far from us lot is, whoever us lot is, our community is really good. People have been promoting that their account is safe for the LGBT, the women, the people of colour, the Muslims, etc. People have been posting things like retweet this if your account is safe for blah blah and you support them. People have been showing a lot of love, not just for those people groups, but for individual people, for their friends, their followers. People have created lists, adding their friends to, saying you matter, you're valid, I love you, blah blah blah. There's been such a huge surge in positivity, which is really positive, and people have made anonymous accounts to show love to each other. So even in a dark time, people are still being very bright and positive and helpful to each other. We need to continue doing this. We need to support the people who are promoting positivity. We need to support Misha Collins. We need to support YouTubers like Dan and Phil, Thomas Sanders, etc. We need to support anyone who's promoting good things, because they're feeling bad as well. Especially people like Misha, who've been campaigning so hard, and people like Tyler Oakley, who've been campaigning a lot. Obviously their campaign didn't work in the long run because he still became president, but if they realise that their influence has helped people and we're grateful, they will still feel positive and they will still carry on. We need to help each other as well, but we need to also help the public figures who are doing good things. We need to show a lot of support and love and thanks for anything positive that they've said, and any campaigning that they've done. This includes social justice accounts, because obviously people are like, oh, you're just promoting things on the internet, but those of us who can't vote, promoting things on the internet is good. And even if you can and have voted, you can still promote things on the internet. There's nothing wrong with that. By the way, yes, I know a lot of these are missing. When these fell off, I put them in a bag, and some of the tweets fell off into the bag, so that's why it looks a bit shit. One piece of advice is stay away from this stuff every once in a while. Take a break from it. It doesn't mean you're being apathetic, it doesn't mean that you don't care. Because yes, promoting it is important, but you need to take a break for your own sanity. Watch happy videos, listen to music that makes you happy, maybe go off Twitter for a while, maybe go to some kind of safe space area on Tumblr where it's, or on any website of your choice, where you can just shut off from that for a while, because it's important to have a break from it. So I've been spending a lot today just binge watching Poppy videos because that's what makes me feel good. I want to live on the internet. Do you like the internet? She's creepy but very relaxing to watch. It's also important to realise that some people have more privilege than others. Something I tweet as someone white who lives in the UK who's not going to be directly affected by it might be very upsetting to someone who's not in that situation, someone who's a Hispanic person living in Texas or something. So it's really important to use trigger warnings, to be careful of what other people are going through, not to try and retweet things or post screenshots of things that are really horrible without some kind of trigger warning or content warning, because some people are going through that and some people are feeling more sensitive than others in this time, and we need to respect that. Another important thing is to keep up to date on the facts that aren't completely negative. So for example, it's been released that Hillary actually had more votes. She had more votes, but the way the system works in America is they have an electoral college or something, and it's all worked out state by state. So he won state by state, but she had more votes. A lot of people think that system is corrupt, including Donald in 2012 when he tweeted this. So I've posted this information using the relevant hashtag, hashtag he's not my president, because, I mean, technically on any other system, he would have lost. Using the logic of any other system, he would have lost. People are saying it's corrupt. He even said it was corrupt when he lost in 2012. So the information's there that, like, I mean, technically he shouldn't even be president anyway. I don't think any of us is gonna be able to completely shake up the system and make them change that, but that does need to be addressed. I've seen that there are ways that before a certain cut-off date, which is sometime in December, it can be changed. If any of the swing states swing back the other way. I can't remember the information, so I might link it in the description or add it in the end, I'm not sure. There are ways that people can change it. I'm not American, so I can't, but as much as we should stay on top of the negative news and be aware of all the things that are happening because of him, we can stay on top of the positive news and push for that and push for change as well. That leads to my next point, using relevant hashtags. Use the he's not my president hashtag, the I'm still with her hashtag, whatever, to show people. So doing that is really helpful, and using the blackout Twitter is good too. It won't necessarily change anything, but it's good to show your support. We're making our icons black, and we're making our whole layout black. Sorry, I can't talk. We're making our layout black in support, and whenever I see like a whole load of black layouts and black icons go past, it's good. It's good to see that people are making a difference. It's also, as well as this positivity online, there's a lot of negativity, and there will be a lot of Trump supporters either saying really racist and horrible things, or they'll be claiming that the racist, horrible things don't actually happen, we're making it up, we're blowing things out of proportion. It's important to fight for what's right, and it's important to argue with these people to a point and get your point across, but it's also important to ignore these people anytime that they're upsetting you or if they're triggering you, and use the block button liberally, of course. You can try to report these things, but Twitter doesn't always pay attention to that. But it is important to not completely argue till you're blue in the face and full of anxiety and despair. It is important to take a break from these people because they're very stressful. It's very important to pick your battles. I'm not saying don't argue with them, but sometimes it's good just to ignore. And like has been said by the wonderful Obamas, when they go low, we go high. It's good to take the moral high ground and not stoop to their level, not be completely horrible back to them because then you're being as bad as they are, but to argue why you're right and show support of the people you're supporting, rather than just showing that you're not supporting the bad people. Just like the song, we need to build an army of love. We need to fight with love rather than fighting with hate of the people who are doing the bad things. We should fight with love of the people that we are supporting. And yes, we could shut them down if they're saying stupid bullshit, but try and do it from a place of love rather than hate. We don't want to become cynical, we don't want to become like them, we don't want to lose our faith when these bad things are happening. Listen to music that relates to what's happening and can help you and give you a positive feeling and some hope. And listen to music that has nothing to do with what's happening and can be escapism if you don't want to think about it. Listen to Army of Love by Curly, listen to Car Radio, listen to American Idiot, but also listen to some wonderful Bjork song that just transports you to an Icelandic magical wonderland and makes you forget that all of this is happening. Either is good. Sometimes music can help you because it's making you aware of what's happening and you can relate to it and you're like, yes, this music is good, I feel this, I understand, someone else understands me. That's good, but it's also good to have the escapism type stuff as well and just be somewhere else completely. Meditate, do yoga, do sport, do things that take your mind off it. Go on a shopping trip. Light some candles. This is turning into you now. Light some candles. Watch a Thomas Sanders video. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. I'm not good at being Dan, but watch Dan because he can help. He says good things and his live shows are always very good. So watch Dan as well. And Phil. That's an important thing to remember in this crisis. Dan and Phil will avert the crisis. You've seen anxiety techniques around, you've seen those GIFs that help you to breathe slowly if you're having a panic attack or if you're having any kind of anxiety. Use those. Like I said, block people if you need to block them if there's negativity. There are so many techniques online that I'm not even going to go into, but you can use anxiety techniques to keep yourself calm and to look at the positives. Don't do too much black and white thinking. Remember that the bad things that people are saying will not definitely happen. These Nazi worshipping people existed before Trump. They just didn't have as much power to speak their opinion before Trump. And now that they've got power to speak their opinion, it's bad, but they're not in power and they're not going to be able to do the things that they want to do. Yes, racial bullying is happening already. You're seeing these things where a little girl on the bus is told that she has to get to the back and stuff like that, and it's horrible. So the bullying will happen. Unfortunately, they can do the bullying, but they cannot be in power and impose horrible Nazi laws. And if you are experiencing bullying, obviously the usual advice goes with that. Tell somebody, stay away from this person if you can. If this person's on the internet, block and report. If this is happening at school, speak to a teacher, speak to your parents, blah blah blah. And bullying will happen, that's something that we all know. And we're all prepared for that bullying will happen in life. So if you're experiencing that, I'm sorry, but you can push through it, speak to people, make sure the situation is dealt with. I got airwaves now, so I smell good. And they're really... whew! It may be necessary to hide something about yourself. You may be told by your parents to be quiet about the fact that you're gay for your own safety. You may be told that you can't wear a hijab if you usually wear a hijab. And this is unfortunate. I can't tell you what you can and can't do. I don't live where you live. I don't know what it's like where you are. I don't know what the best thing is to do, but you should listen to advice, well-meaning advice from people like that. Obviously, if your parents are saying, hide the fact that you're gay because it's disgusting, that's not well-meaning advice, but if it's like, hey, son or daughter, this is for your own safety, listen to that, and that will be different depending on where you live, who lives in your area, etc. You may have to do that, and it's horrible to be in the closet or whatever, but practice these things for your own safety. If you're a person of colour, that's not something you can easily hide. I'm sorry about that. You can hide the fact that you're gay more easily than you can hide the colour of your skin, and that's just how it is. So I'm sorry if you're a person of colour and you're going to experience any racism or bullying because of that, but that's something that might happen, and I'm sorry, I don't know what to say about that. Just stay safe, stay away from bad people as much as you can. Like I said, the block button is good if you're being on the internet, and just surround yourself with positive people and people who will help you and stand by you. If it's online and people are retweeting things like, hey, I support you if you're a person of colour, stay with those kind of people like that online. And if you know people in real life who are supporting you, stay with them. Just surround yourself with the good people rather than the bad people, and hopefully it won't solve all the problems and make things fine, but you'll be okay and you'll be in a better place mentally and physically. The map of blue, the sea of blue, which is how it would be if the millennials voted. Somebody sent this map to Misha Collins saying that this is the future, these are the people we are leading. The guy, I guess, is a similar age to Misha. He said, we are not the millennials, but we are leading the millennials. We are almost parenting them and supporting them, and they're supporting us. And he was sending this to Misha to say, hey, this is the future. The future is the sea of blue. We are, I'm guessing, mostly millennials or Generation Y or whichever it's called nowadays. So that's an important thing to know. We are the future. We are the sea of blue. We are the force of equality and love, if we are voting that way, and we are the millennials. And when we grow up, those who weren't able to vote will be able to vote, and those who were supporting Trump, who are the older generation, will die out, and the future will be better because it will be led by us. The younger people will grow up and get the right to vote, and they will vote in their masses and do the right thing, and it will get better. In short, love trumps hate, and love will win, and we can fight with love rather than hate. We can be an army of love, we can be a sea of blue taking over America. Not taking over America in a violent way, but in number we can overpower those who are voting for bad things. We may be able to contest the vote, I don't know yet. It's probably a very slim chance, it might not be likely, but we can try. Or those of us who can vote in America can try. Support the people who are doing good, particularly Misha Collins and Tyler Oakley and all those people who are promoting good things. Support them. Block out the people who are making you upset. If it is getting a bit much, it's okay to just stop the argument and block the person. It doesn't make you a bad social justice warrior or whatever. It doesn't make you a bad ally. It just, you might need to do it for your own good, for your own mental health. And remember that the negative things that are happening and the negative things that are being said are not people in power. They are people called Billy Bob who live in a shack and play the banjo. They have the power to vote, which is unfortunate, but they don't have the power to change laws and run the country. Even Donald Trump can't do some things without permission, so it's good to bear these things in mind. It is good to publicise the bad things, but as I said, do it safely, use trigger warnings, use safe spaces, use anxiety techniques if you want, take a break from it if you need to. Do what you need to do to look after yourself, even while fighting. You can take a break and recharge and clear your mind of it and then get back to fighting later if that's what you need. And use relevant hashtags and retweet relevant things. If it says this account supports this type of people, retweet it. Black out your account. Show that you're supporting and be there for each other. That's all we can do. We can't necessarily do much more than that. We can't take over the White House and change everything. But we can do these small things to be okay. Talk about other things. That's another important thing. Don't just talk about the politics. Do other updates on how you're doing. I like this song, or I've done a video and it's not about politics, which I haven't yet, but stuff like that is very important. I did this the other day. Spread other stories. I personally have been working a lot on self-love, and part of that is going without makeup, and it looks okay. I just realised one day that if I do have a spot or an imperfection or a bit of dark under my eyes, no one actually cares. I care, but no one else really gives a shit, and it's not worth getting stressed about things that no one cares about. So that's what I've been doing personally, and I've been letting people know about it, and I'm letting you know about it now. That I've been working on my self-esteem and my self-love, and it's been going pretty well. So share things like that, like I just did now. Share things like that, because it's good to talk about other things than the drama, or we'll all go crazy. Also, I'm loving my aesthetic at the moment. I'm very pastel-y. I don't know if it's because I've been watching so much Poppy. I've gone all pastel. I have this hair clip. It's pink, but I dyed with my hair with it or something. And it's gone all pink and blue and looks really cool. Good luck everyone with everything that's going on. From what I've seen, everyone I know is doing really good things. It's being very positive. Spreading a lot of love in a time where there's a lot of hate. And I appreciate all of you. I love you guys very much. I love you, America. Stay safe. Do the techniques that I've said. Take breaks from things if they're getting too stressful, and look after yourselves. I love you very much, and I hope that you're doing well. Bye! I don't know how many points I should make because I'm not even going for a list, I'm just saying what comes to mind. I don't know, do I need to say more? I don't know. Support Misha Collins.